Hello and welcome to another video. Today's video is a little bit unique in that there is no stamping in it whatsoever. So in today's card, I'm actually using what's called the World of Good Memories and More card pack. And this card pack comes with an assortment of cards of various sizes, and it all coordinates with the World of Good bundle. And what you would find in it are these cards with an assortment of patterns. Some have kind of this nice sort of space for writing things in if you were to use it in the appropriate way. This is the piece I used here. Notice that the coloring's a little different, and I'll tell you how I did that. And so you've got, different nautical shapes and designs, and then here you've got, say, if you wish to write something that actually tied in here with our journey. So same thing here, you've got this design throughout. Here you've got today was a great day. You could have a picture, you could have all kinds of different things here. What a wonderful world, and you've got two of those, and on the back side just some more diagrams here, right? You've got all kinds of, I think, is that a sextant maybe? I'm not sure. Some script, and then obviously in the back, and so the adventure begins. Again, lots of these have, and this is the other one that we're going to do today, be the change you wish to see in the world. And then this one here, we've got a series of work, play, travel, repeat, all repeated over and over. Here you've got today's adventure. So there's a lot of different really neat patterns here. Whoops. Explore more without throwing my pieces all over the place. But the neat thing about today's card is that you didn't actually have to stamp anything. And so you can actually make these cards, and you can make an assortment of styles with very little material. So I'm just going to try to show you here a few. The other ones are going to be a little bit easier, a little bit faster. So some are really, really pretty, and some have text and some don't. So this might also make for a really good set to have cards that lack a sentiment, right? So those are just these little mini cards, which, as you could tell, there's a lot of them. They're all duplicate. You also get these sheets of stickers. So you have some with this tailored tack punch look. You've got these pieces of the brass here. You've got the terms. You've got, again, this one's already pre-printed for you. You've got some with the brass, some without. You've got these here, the little parts of the globe here, and you'll notice that we've got North and South America, as well as Europe, Asia, and Australia. And for those of you who are who miss New Zealand, it's actually on this side here. But notice none of these have the shine, but that's it. It lends itself well. Then you've got here the combination of these feather quills. You've got some of this brass and some in the other parts of the world. Notice both sides here. So those are the stickers that come with it. And then just really quickly, you've got this one's single-sided, 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 and then I think all the ones with the brass are single-sided, and then the others have. So notice here, this one's very similar to this paper, but it lacks the embossing here. So there you go. This is the one I used. Again, right? So some of them have text, some of them don't. Boop. And this one, see, I saw this one, it makes me think of a recipe, but probably meant to be for a story, right? Enjoy the journey. And these are really easy to just cut down to make it fit on a card front, or in this case, this one's a little bit long, but could still be turned into something really cool. You could go for a longer, the world is yours. Look at that. How nice would that be on a card? You've got this grid and then these lines here. So let me show you, the card and explain how I made it. So I made this card using very minimal supplies. I used a cinnamon cider card base, layer of Whisper White on the inside. You had the two pieces from the set. I actually took this piece here, and I cut it down to 5 1/4 by 4 inches was the original width, and then I added 3 of these. But you might be wondering, how did I get to this kind of coloring? Well, I used a sponge dauber, and all I did, and I'll show you here, oops, the technique. I took my ink pad and I took my sponge dauber, dab, 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 and then I just tapped it off, and then I just went like this. And then if you add a lot of ink, you will see it very, very dark. If you add very little ink, it'll be very subtle. You could try to be more heavily handed if you wish. You could intentionally leave it to be very muted. You might want to even, like, so see here, like I intentionally made this side a little bit darker than that one. And that could be a thing you go for, right, when you do it. So you can use this technique on any card, especially if you want to have a layered look, but not necessarily use the cardstock to do that layer in its true fashion. So for today's card that we'll make together, I thought we'd change it up here, and we'd use our Misty Moonlight and then this coordinating piece, and then we'd look around and see which stickers looked really good with it. So first things we need to do, we need to cut this piece down. So let's go ahead and do that. Cut it down here on our scoreboard at 5 1/4 because it's already at 4 inches. And now we can just layer that right on top here. And I'm just going to use my Tombow Mono liquid adhesive. And again, this one here, you really don't need much, but I am trying to get gently into the corners. And then a little bit there. And then I did pop up the card with my sentiment, and I think I will do the same this time with this card. If you had some really pretty corresponding ribbon, or you wanted to make corresponding ribbon, you could definitely like tie it around behind it. For this card, because the words are so dark, plus it has its own little border, I thought adding this sponging technique would actually kind of take away from the card. So I thought for this one I'd actually just pop it up and then look and see which of these stickers I think would add some real pizzazz to the card. So let's go ahead and do that. And because it's kind of a wide piece, you do want to have your dimensionals kind of throughout so that if it's going through the mail, it's not going to suffer and kind of deflate. So it might be a bit more dimensionals than you're used to. This would be an example of a good one to use the bones of your this part here, right? Your outside piece of your dimensionals. That would be a good one to use that for. So that was halfway through here. And there we go. Then just center that up. There we go. Looks about right. And then let's go ahead, while we have it handy, let's glue our inside panel. Again, here you don't want to use glue to the point where it'll be so heavy-handed that you would feel it if you were writing your sentiment to the person you're sending this card to. So you do want to make sure you're a little bit gentle there. All right. So there's that. Let's crease that with our bone folder. There we go. And so, let's see here, so the world, that might be fun to have another globes on top here, but I worry that that would be kind of big. Plus, because they are stickers, it would be a little bit, oh, I know. Let's use one of these little globe stickers. So let's use this guy here, and we could put that maybe right underneath the word world. That'll be nice. And then, let's see, maybe let's add, since we're adding black embellishments, let's do that throughout. So let's add maybe this, let's put this over here in this corner, and then we can do one of these tiny little guys like we used on the other side. I want to think, I don't want them all together. How about right here? That's kind of nice. So, and you can change it up wherever you'd like, and these stickers are not unforgivable, if you will. So for example, I think I'm actually going to push this one up a little bit further away from my text. And so notice, as long as you're kind of gentle with it, you can reposition it a little bit. But definitely don't try it after it's been able to set for any length of time. So there's that, and with that, I have made a card using no stamping whatsoever. So if you have these materials, or you'd like to use these materials, make sure to take a stab at making it. And actually, ooh, let's put this extra piece on the inside. That'll be nice. Let's do that right now. So if any of this is something that you would like to get your hands on, the links to those items and my online store are below, and the link to my blog post will be below as well, and it will show you exactly how to cut down these pieces if you missed it earlier, so you know, no judgment there. And then there we go, look at that. Boop. So that way you are able to take a stab at making these, plus the perk of this particular set of cards is that if you do get this particular bundle of Memories and More pack paper, right, that's, I mean, that I made 2 cards already, and I have all of this plus all of these left behind. I can easily make, you know, dozens of cards with these. I can cut things down. Like I could use, for example, I could use just this strip right here, right? And then on the back side, if I cut off that part, I'd have all of this still too, right? So there's a lot of versatility in this pack, which is one of the things that kind of sold me on it. So if you need anything or have any questions, get in touch. Otherwise, make sure to subscribe so that you can see when I post new videos, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.